Wilson Morales from Black for Me TV. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
My question is, you guys have been on this tour, father and son. I've seen you on different talk shows. How close is the bonding now? Is it more than ever? You know, because you guys have to do this as a job.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about this on the airplane coming back from Brazil yesterday. I said, you know, we haven't spent this much time together since
I was playing hockey.
But
before, when I was like minor hockey, we'd go to tournaments and like you'd spend every waking hour, you know, that we've
13, 14.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So that it was cool. Luckily, I don't hate my dad. I love my dad. he's an awesome guy. He's fun to hang out with.
He's really easy to hate, but it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Who got approached first? And then did the other one recommend, you know, like, oh, I think he can play my dad or he can play my son?
I think they kind of attached.
No, I think they did it both simultaneously because Ronna Kress had the idea to do, like, this is Wyatt and Kurt. So we have the same agent. So it was the same time, although maybe Darren did call me.
I think he called you.
Right. Do you think your dad would be interested?
How's this going to go with the old man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't really remember.
You think he's going to bite on this?
Yeah,
or
right.
Just to go, what?
Yeah.
So then it begs the question. Obviously, my assumption is that you guys have been approached to do other projects before together. What made this one special? Kurt?
I think the uniqueness of playing the same character. We've discovered since then that no known, in other words, there may have been a known actor and a son did a small thing, whatever, but there's no really known actors that were father and son that played the same role. Never been done. And we kind of sort of unofficially knew that, I think. And we said, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. It's, you know, this needs a lot of work if we're going to do it, because we don't want to do anything other than making it an epic blast. So, you know, we wanted to, you know, make sure that was going to occur. Apple was fantastic. The guys were great. You know, no complaints.
But they didn't write it with us in mind, so it was like a casting idea after the fact. And so that was what made it interesting, where it was like, oh, okay, now they had a really good idea, and now let's work on it to make it as good as the idea is, you know? Yeah. So that was fun.
Have you seen your share of the monster films, whether it's from yesteryear or the current ones we've seen in the last 10 years?
I have not seen any Godzilla films, but if you consider like the Thing is a monster film, and there's the Fly would be considered a monster film, and movies like that. I just watched the original Godzilla, which interestingly enough, Godzilla doesn't come on screen for an hour since in the 1954 Godzilla, and so that was really a human story for an hour. It had the impending doom of Godzilla. So there were things about that I know that they wanted to implement into this one, which they did very well, and we made it about human beings, and it was a human story. So that was fun to be able to.
Have you ever seen, the question I never asked him, have you ever seen The Blob?
No, but Jim Brown was telling me about that.
I mean, I remember seeing Godzilla,
the other day.
And I was a kid when we saw The Blob. That terrified me. But it also kind of went, that was kind of cool. That was kind of great. You know, how does that thing go up the stick? I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, it's not this thing anymore. That kind of stuff was like, that's very cool. Didn't really know much about Godzilla after seeing him. Saw recently, or a year ago or so, Godzilla versus King Kong. Really done well. Didn't know much more about that stuff than that. In the monster universe.
Yeah,
the Godzilla
Monsterverse.
monster universe.
Right.
You know, what I like about the show is that it's a weekly show. It gets people guessing as to where it's going to go. Obviously, I've seen enough, but we don't want to talk about it. Let people find out week by week, if not already. So congrats on the road. Congrats on the series. Let's keep it going. We'll talk down the road.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Wilson. See you.
Morales from Black for Me TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Nice to meet you.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. You know, obviously, the world, we can never get, you know, enough of these monster movies. You know, they've been existing since I've been born, since you guys have been born. You know, so when this project came about, you know, what was it for you to say yes? Was it the genre, the characters you guys have played, or the cast itself? Joe?
Well, like they hired me. That was the first part of saying yes. But as far as like, you know, getting a job in the sort of Godzilla legacy universe, I mean, there's something like super. I mean, 70 years is a very long time for something to sustain, and I just like sort of feel humbled to get to even be a part of that, to continue the legacy, but and expand it as well, as there's like sort of new monsters and new characters in this show. So there's something very cool about a baton pass like that.
And you're Elisa?
I mean, a mix of those three things you said, like indeed you get the job and then you just realize the epicness of it and the fact that you are part of this universe, you know, and Godzilla has been around indeed for so long. It's so ingrained in our pop culture, and you're sort of like, okay, like we're doing Godzilla, you know. The characters are great, like very well written scripts, in my opinion. And the more, you know, we sort of delved into it, like I've become a massive fan of these monsters too. Like I can't wait for them to show up and like, yeah.
The character you play, Joe, you know, Tim looks like a bookworm stuck and he's looking to get outside. He looks like he's looking for excitement. Would you say that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is exactly right. I think this is a guy that's been down in the basement, like studying all these things, and he's like encyclopedic knowledge of Monarch and all this stuff, but he's never really got to see any of it. And so I think, given the opportunity post G-Day, I think he sort of leaps at that. And, you know, if that means like bending some rules or something like that, I think he's going to do it. You got to shoot your shot, I guess.
And what about Duvall? You know, she's not as one note as she seems to be, right?
Without revealing too much. Yeah, I mean, I think she's a super skilled operative who maybe had some kind of background in intelligence for the French government or something like that. And she's been working at Monarch because she has her own reasons for being brought to the cause. And I think, like a lot of our characters, she cares about, you know, saving lives and sort of like tackling this whole monster thing. And in her own way, like, yeah.
Before I let you go, how many would you say you've seen all of the monster movies, or just a portion enough just to get to know this world, you know, prior to doing these series?
We sort of like, yeah, I'd sort of watched a few and then watched more when I got cast, so just delve into it deeper.
Yeah, the latter for me as well.
Yeah. Like I said before, we can't say enough because we have more episodes to go, which is great about the series. It's that it's weekly, you know, so we can see where it's going to go week to week, who lives, who dies, and just who makes it out of there before we get to G-Day. So good talking to you guys. Take care. We'll talk down the road.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great to meet you. Take care.